What's up, guys? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I'm back here at Genesis of Lakewood, Florida, and I have this 2023 Genesis G80 Advanced 2.5 turbo with the rear wheel drive. So kind of the middle of the line model, and today I'm going to take you on the complete tour of this vehicle. So we're going to check it out from the exterior, interior, pop the hood, see what powers it up. At the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a spin with me. Before we do all that, if you can do me one huge favor, and that is go to the right hand side of your screen, click that red subscribe button before we get back to this vehicle. It's been a while since I had a G80 on my channel. I've done the 2021 model year. I skipped the 2022. Now we're at 2023, and I've never really driven the 2.5T until today. So let's talk about the Genesis G80 segment. What is it competing against? Well, most people put it against the German competition such as Mercedes-Benz E-Class, BMW 5 Series, and Audi A6. As far as the Japanese, what do you think that is? As far as the design of this vehicle, I don't see any changes from the 2021 model year that I've done. It still looks pretty good. It looks sporty, it looks athletic, and it looks pretty luxurious, if you ask me. Now, it does have several components that are very exclusive to the Genesis brand. Of course, you do see this Genesis logo right in here, and that's also compared to an Aston Martin logo, which looks very, very similar. It's kind of the wings with the Genesis crest in the middle right here, and that logo creates that indent in the hood that kind of dissipates towards the windshield over here. The crest design continues with this huge grille. Now, the grille is covered in the smoked chrome, so it's not this really bright shiny chrome. It's more of a toned down chrome. And now you see this double stack lights on pretty much all of the Genesis lineup. So the G70, the GV70, G80, and the GV80 all have the same type of lights. Now they're fully LED setup. They do have everything that's in here: daytime running lights, turn signals, and the regular lights and the high beams, of course. Now if you look at the bottom of here, pretty nice design. Now continues with the same pattern as on the grill over here, but it is all shiny black at the bottom, and then the front fascia right at the bottom here has a little bit of a chrome piece to it, kind of break it up. So it still has this athletic stance, and it still looks pretty good. This one is a smaller engine. I have not checked that out before, so let's look at it together. Take a look at this hood right there, how nice and tall it is, being held up by the struts, hood struts on side, no prop sticks, anything like this. You do have sound insulation on the hood. That's going to make up for a nice and quiet ride, I believe. And let's take a look at the engine itself. It does have a turbo written right on top of it. It is an inline four-cylinder turbocharged engine, 2.5 liter, producing 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This particular model sends the power to the rear wheels and is capable of doing 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds. One more thing that I want to point out is all of this braces right here that increases the rigidity of the vehicle, and it is also for better handling. And in the back over there, you can see all of this silver stuff. That is basically your heat insulation over in the back between the engine and the cabin right over there. Well, nothing has really changed on the side of this vehicle from the design standpoint. It's still pretty cool, and I like this is my favorite feature on it. So visible. It looks kind of like this air outlet trim that you've seen on some of the older Buicks maybe, but it's not. It's actually just a trim over here, but it incorporates a turn signals. So if you can see, there you go. I just locked this vehicle. You can see the turn signals blank and the mirror folded. So that is a very functional feature on this particular one. Now the Genesis G80 comes standard with the 18-inch wheels. Now this has the advanced package, so it is upgraded to a 19-inch wheels, which is a very nice design. This is, again, this is not shiny. This is not the real, like the regular aluminum color. It is a little dim, and I like that. 245, 45, 19. That's the size of the tires. All season tires and Michelin's come standard with it. Now this particular vehicle with the advanced package, you also get the panoramic sunroof, and that panoramic sunroof is about this big. As far as the rest of the design features, well, folded mirrors. It do have the blind spot assist inside of here. Top of the door handles are chrome, and it does have the smart entry system. As soon as I put my hand inside of this door handle, it senses that I have a key on me, and as soon as I put my hand on top of the door handle, it's got the sensor. It's going to lock the vehicle. A little bit of chrome around the windows, and then there's a little chrome trim right at the bottom of it. Kind of accentuates that luxury styling of this vehicle. The back of it, it's nicely sloped. It almost looks like a fastback vehicle. It reminds me a little bit of an Audi A7. Let me know what you think about that. Let's move to the back and let's see what we have there. The back also reminds me a little bit of an Audi A7. Now it slopes down really nicely. You can see that it's got the shark fin antenna on here. The third brake light is built in right on top of the rear window. And then you have a sloping down trunk with a little bit of raise in the middle. It's not really a spoiler, but it helps with the aerodynamics. They have this nice little trim, kind of the smoked crow trim, and that incorporates the rear view camera as well as the release for the trunk. Genesis spelled out G80. Now this one also has the double stacked lights in the back, just kind of like it has in the front, and that incorporates everything: the regular tail lights, the turn signals, the backup lights, and then you have the reflector lights at the bottom. Now if you pay attention to the exhaust, they also have the same kind of shape like the front grille, kind of this crest shape. Pretty mean looking, pretty cool, and a little bit of a mesh in here, kind of like an air exhaust. I'm not sure if it's functional. I don't think so. It's just a design element. Now part of the advanced trim, you do have a power trunk, and then the way you release it is press the button up on top of the camera. So let's take a look and see how much room we have in there. Walking up on this trunk lid right here, you can see that it does have two buttons. One's to power close it, and wants to close it and lock it so you can walk away. Not worrying you're going to leave the vehicle unlocked. And the roominess of this trunk, it is a pretty large trunk. It's wide and it's deep. Okay, and underneath the floorboard over here, you do have a temporary use spare tire. A little bit more of a storage on the sides, you know, that's protected by this cargo netting over here. And if you look in depth inside of this trunk, you can see that there is a pass-through in between the seats, or actually there's a pass-through, but the seat does not fall down, which is kind of disappointing feature. Also a weird placement for the trunk release handle that is placed on the seat itself, versus most of the vehicle have it somewhere on the side of this vehicle. So it almost also only has a pass-through. If you have skis, maybe 2x4s or something that you want to carry, that's fine. But if you want to have something longer, lay down maybe a flat box that's longer, you're not going to be able to do that. There is enough room in the back for a full-size adult. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not touching my knees to the front seat, and the front seat is adjusted to my regular driving position. I have probably about another 2.5 inches above my head, and that's with this panoramic sunroof. And I do have plenty of shoulder room. And even though it does have 3 seat belts in the back, I feel like it's really made for 2 passengers in the back. And let me show you why. Start this interior tour with the checking up of the back panel right here, door panel. I gotta tell you, I really like it. I think it's a lot of premium materials. Now it does have this open pore wood trim, really nice. It's non-shiny. It's wrapped in this aluminum trim that continues and ends with this door handle. Aluminum speaker covers right on top and the regular speaker cover at the bottom. So there's 3 speakers in the rear doors alone. Now you do have the lock, unlock, and the window control button. A little bit of storage in this door itself. What's also unique and part of the advanced package is this rear manual sunshade. You have this one on each of the door, and you have one sunshade in the back over there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can throw it electronically. So you have this little button and that controls the sunshade in the back. And that's the pass-through that I was telling you about. This is, you can open it, and if you have skis or something, that's fine. Take a look at this console. It opens up. It has an additional storage in here, and then it has cup holders right up front, and you can stow it away. But that's what I was telling you. Look at the seats on the sides. I mean, they're nicely profiled, very comfortable. And then look at this. It's kind of awkward, not comfortable. And then in addition to that, you have this huge bump right in the middle there. So the person would have to put their feet up on top of it. Now, you do have a console in the back, and you do have your own climate control settings. So you can adjust your temperature, fan speed, etc. You have your own vents, but you don't have any of the USB or USB-C outlets in here, which is very surprising. Now, as far as the materials used, this looks like leather, but it is actually leatherette. You'd have to go to the Prestige package to get the Napa leather. Check out the quality of this vehicle by closing its door. Boom, nice solid thump in here. Take a look at the front door panel. First of all, what you can see this Lexicon speaker cover. Now, Lexicon, by the way, for those of you that don't know, I didn't know, it is actually a subsidiary of Samsung Corporation. It is that premium audio. They produce it for all of the Genesis models, so Genesis uses them, actually. Now, if you look at the setup over here, you have your window mirror lock controls. You also have this warning, entry warning. So basically, if there's something or somebody coming from behind you, it won't let you open the door unless that danger is clear. You also have 2 memory seat settings, and then the speaker over at the top, one at the bottom, a little bit more storage in the bottom of the door seal. If you look in here on the door seal, you have Genesis electronic control for the seats more on the sporty side, nicely profiled. Again, this is leatherette, not leather on this particular model. Let's jump inside. Let's see the rest of it. And the interior of this Genesis G80 definitely looks luxurious. I gotta point out a couple things. Now, this is the real wood trim, and this is this open pore wood trim. It's non-lacquered, so it's not shiny. One of my favorite ones, to be honest with you. And it continues right on this console in the middle. So look how nice it looks. The combination of aluminum, a little bit of this clear plastic / glass, and that looks really premium, really luxurious. Now, you do have the 2 screens over here. You have the 14.5-inch screen. That's your main infotainment system. And then you have another smaller screen right here, and that's basically for your climate control. So we're gonna go through all of that, but let's take a look at the rest of this interior and see how nice it looks. It's a multi-tier dashboard. Now, it is vinyl wrapped. It does have some contrast stitching. Now, the vents continue right in the middle, so they're nicely incorporated into the design of this vehicle. And then on the side, on the door, you can see the lines of it. Very well thought out, very well designed. And then you can also see the Lexicon speakers. Now, the Lexicon, this one, because it does have the advanced package, it does have the Lexicon premium stereo, 21 speakers. Sounds really, really nice. Well, let's move on to the center of it, or to the left where the steering wheel is, and you have the regular steering wheel for Genesis. So that design is actually a little bit different than most of the other manufacturers. You have the Genesis logo, bunch of buttons on both sides. Now, on this side, you have volume, your voice control. You also have the mode and start button. Both of them are customizable. You have a volume button up and down, and then of course you have up and down here that controls what's going on in front of you. And then you have the different pages, as well as the lane keep assist. Then you have your cruise control and adaptive cruise control settings. Now, in the back, you do have the pedal shifters, and the steering wheel itself, it's very nice. It's thick enough, but it's not too thick. It does have some contrast stitching over at the bottom. It is leather wrapped steering wheel. So you do have the display right here, and a lot of people would say, hey, why not make it a fully digital? And I agree with them. At first I was like, well, you know, this one is good enough, but again, I think with the different models they have, like the GV80 and the higher end trims, they have all digital display. Might as well do it on all of them. But what you have here is a combination. What I don't have is my favorite feature. So look at this. Normally on the Genesis, the higher end trim, you have the cameras that will turn on the monitor in the instrument cluster, and it will show you what's going on there. So that's more of a blind spot assist type of deal. You don't have it with this. Even with the advanced package, I believe you have to go to the prestige package in order to get it. So you have the speedometer on the left hand side, and then you have the fuel gauge right in the same gauge over there. And this is customizable, so you can see you can have it as a tachometer, which turns on right now. I haven't driven this vehicle, so it says, hey, you've been idling for a while. It's going to turn off in like 25 seconds. It does have a timer, 30 minutes idle time, unless you start driving it. So what else do we have here? The basic display, it's got 88, so it's got your thermometer up on top. The vehicle's got 39 miles on it. And let's see what else we can customize in here. Let's go to the other pages over here. So you can have a compass over here, drive info, accumulated info, attention level, tire pressure, engine temperature, select content, so you can customize it, and then back to the drive info. So a little bit of customization. You can also see that there is the speed limit sign over there, so that reads the speed limit signs and displays it in front of you, in case you were wondering what the speed limit is. So that's it. That's your instrument cluster, and my favorite part is the infotainment system. I really like it. It is the right placement. It is the right size, 14.5-inch display. It can be controlled several different ways. You can be touchscreen. This is your touchscreen mode. And so you can see, I like the color display on it. It is not monochrome. It is actually color, but it's kind of like the Sophia, very elegant display. So what do we have here? We have map. And I want to show it to you because that's one of my favorite features of this vehicle. Huge map display, really nice, really bright. That's your navigation system. So you don't really need to use Android Auto, but if you did want it, you have to connect it to the vehicle via cable. Same thing with Android, Apple CarPlay. Navigation menu, so this is how you look it up. And I want to show you the POI categories, gas stations. I like it on all of the Hyundais and Genesis. There you go, it displays you the gas stations, but it also displays you the price of the gas, which is pretty cool. So you can base your search on that. Parking, coffee shop, fast food, restaurants, convenience store, shopping, grocery, pharmacy, banks, ATMs, hotels, etc., you name it. Bunch of points of interest categories. Sirius FM, media, HD, radio, data, phone, connected services, phone projection, like I mentioned right here. If you press it, it's going to tell you, hey, you need to connect it to get to the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Moving on to the second page of here, you have the voice memo, where you can record a short memo message and then retrieve it later, so you don't have to look for the phone. Setup, valet mode, seat. So it does have the seats controls, passenger seat controls. Okay, so you can control the passenger seats from the infotainment system in case you want it to be nice to the passenger and set it up for them. Quiet mode, that adjusts the output of the front speakers, turns off the rear speaker completely. You have your climate control in here, so basically those are all checked, and you can turn those features on and off, and then you control it through the bottom portion of the screen over here. So setup, let's go in here. Vehicle navigation, sound device connection, user profile, voice recognition display, button, touchpad. You can customize all of these buttons right here. So custom button by audio, I'll show you that. Custom button on the steering wheel, you already seen it. Mode button on the steering wheel, and home button by controller. Climate touch screen, you can put any of those features into those buttons. So those buttons are programmable, and whatever you use the most, that's what you can set it up for. This is a very nice feature on Genesis or Hyundai and Kias. So general platform, okay, so it does have some general features over here. I'll move back to the main menu. This is how your home screen looks like, but I want to point out to the media right here, we don't have, I can only show you or test this Lexicon stereo by using one of the pre-programmed sounds in here. And maybe let's go to the open air cafe, turn on the volume. And you truly feel like you are in a cafe. So actually it is a very nice stereo system. And let's go back to the home screen. That's pretty much what it is. It is a very nice, very customizable system, and it's easy to use. It's very nice to look at. And let's move down here. So over here in this wood trim, you see your engine start stop button. You have your hazard lights. At the bottom here, you have some of the hard buttons for map, nav, radio, media, and this is one of your custom buttons. Setup, it takes you right to the setup of the vehicle navigation sound, so that's your shortcut as well. At the bottom of here, this is where you control your climate control. As you can see, this vehicle is equipped with heated and ventilated seats, and it does have the dual zone climate control in the front, and we have one zone in the back, so it's tri-zone climate control. Again, very nice to look at. Over here, what you see is you see the USB, not USB-C, but the regular USB ports. I don't see the symbol for wireless charging, so I'm not sure if this one has it or you need to step up to the higher end trim, but I would assume this one does not have it. And then you have cup holders on the sides, and everything here is your command center. So you can control your infotainment system via voice, you can control it via touch screen, or you can control it via this controller. You can control it several ways. You can move it around to the certain icons and then hit the one, like press down to select the one that you want to select. If you are in the navigation system and you want to search something, okay, so you want to search the navigation system, all you have to do is you start typing. Let's say we want to find a hotel, so we type H, right? And it shows you H right on the screen. So then instead of trying to look for the right letter on the keyboard, you can just type it with your finger. And we've seen that on the Mercedes-Benz and the BMW, and that's a pretty cool system, if you ask me. Well, let's move down in here. Look at the design of it. This is kind of a premium design too. It is really nice. It's not overly sensitive, and it gives you a little bit of a feedback if you press it. Now over here you have the volume and tune over here, so this is how you control the volume. Then back home and menu, so if you ever get lost, you hit the home button, it's going to take you to the home screen on your infotainment system. Back and menu, that's self-explanatory. And over here what we have is we have the gear shifter. Now parking right now, and then you twist it to shift it in the gear. So let's put it in the reverse and let's take a look at this rear view camera. So on this particular one, we only have the regular rear view camera. This is the base one. You need to go with the package up, like the Prestige package, in order to get the 360. So you only have this portion right here, which normally would be the top view. This is only for the sensors. This is the camera, and then we still have 1/3 open. Again, my complaint is that this is too small. It should take up the entire screen, or maybe 2/3 of the screen. Quality of it is pretty good, and then you can make some adjustments on the camera itself. You do have the trajectory lines that are active trajectory lines, but nothing too special about this camera system. Now if you go to the right of the gear shifter, you have the drive modes, and the drive modes that you have on this vehicle are custom, comfort, sport, and eco, and these are your drive modes on this vehicle. We're gonna put it in the sport mode. I'm gonna leave it for a test drive. Now, one more thing to check out, you do have these doors that open up, and then you have an additional storage in here with an additional 12-volt outlet for charging. And then we'll move on to the top console over here. So pretty cool. You do have this sunglasses holder, but I like the color they used. It's this dim polished aluminum, and you do have your lights. Now the lights are not touch lights, you actually have to press a button, but they are LEDs. And we have this big panoramic sunroof, also part of this advanced package. Look how it opens. Okay, so instead of the sunshade going one way, it actually goes both ways. And it is a huge panoramic sunroof. Now, is that the only way it opens? Yeah, it's a huge opening, but it opens not very long. Okay, so yeah, I guess it would be sticking out behind the roof of this vehicle, but still nice. It's wide, and you know, if we want to leave it open like this, it's very nice and dim, so it's going to give you a little bit of light, but not too much. And look at this. This is how it closes. Pretty cool, right? Let's take this vehicle for a spin. Because the vehicle is running, I'm ready to take it for a spin. Couple things, you know, I tried to look up some information on the Genesis website as far as the specs of the 2023 Genesis G80, but unfortunately, as of today, it doesn't have it. But it is 2023, so it's the 2023 G80 rear-wheel drive 2.5T Advanced package. MSRP $49,500, so that's maybe going to be our point of reference in here for 2022 G80. It starts at $48,250. This one is $49,500, so it's about $1,250 difference. As far as the engine, transmission, all the specs are the same, and you know, the only difference on here is that it does have the advanced package, which is this vehicle is upgraded with. So the advanced package includes the 19-inch wheels, includes the panoramic sunroof, the premium Lexicon stereo, the rear sunshades, and the side sunshades in the rear door. So that's pretty much it. It also has the 3-zone climate control, and that is $4,700 options. So it sounds like a lot, but it still gives you a ton of features for it. Now this particular one, total MSRP $56,290, and that's as it sits right now. One thing left to check out, and that's how it drives. We're going to start with trying to turn this vehicle around 360 degrees and see how tight the turning diameter is. It's pretty tight. It is 4 parking spaces, and that's about what most of the mid-size sedans would be like, as well as the mid-size SUVs, which are generally built on the same platforms as mid-size sedans. Now, one thing to point out, first of all, it is very quiet inside. I know Genesis is using a lot of acoustic glass, and as you can see in the engine compartment in the front, you can see that sound insulation, and I gotta tell you, it's really doing its job. It's really nice and quiet in here. The only thing I can hear is the hum of the air conditioning, and it's quite welcome noise after being in this 90-degree plus weather. So let's take this on the road and let's see a couple things. Let's see, first of all, let's check out the acceleration. Yeah, I'm gonna stand right here and then I'm gonna accelerate. We're in the sports mode. So it's nice pull. I didn't get to 60 miles per hour because we're still in the residential area. And I also want to be respectful to the future owner of this Genesis. So I don't want to beat on it too much. But it is, it pulls, right? Now the official results is about 5.7 seconds 0 to 60 on the 2.5 rear-wheel drive model, which is not bad. I mean, it's not the fastest one out there, but I remember, you know, when under 6 seconds, that was a big deal. So it tells me, hey, stay in your lane. So it does have this enhanced lane keep assist, and it does give me a visual as well as an audio feedback if I'm getting out of my lane, which is pretty cool, you know, especially if you're tired, you're driving, you're dozing off, and, you know, that vehicle can help you save your life, and that's basically what it's designed to do. Very nice, very comfortable drive. I gotta tell you, it is luxurious. It's got a lot of features that a lot of its competitors have. Let's take a look again. We're turning, boom, a little bit of a body roll, but not bad. Again, I like that in the front, in the engine bay, you have those strut supports over there, the braces. That really helps with the drive of this vehicle. But where I was going at with the summary of this vehicle, as far as the drive, it's nice and it's luxurious, but it's, I don't want to say it's boring, but it's, let's hit it one more time. Let's see. It is a mid-size sedan, right? So here's the thing. I like it. If you want to have a vehicle that it's going to take you to work and back in style and might have a little bit of acceleration, definitely go for it. I mean, it's great. There's nothing about it that I really don't like. But the fun factor, the excitement factor, it's just not there. It's a cool vehicle. It's got a great warranty. It's priced right. But if I were to go for one, I'd probably go for the 3.5 Sport model. That, you know, cuts down the 0 to 60 by over 1 second, so it is under 5-second vehicle, and it does give you a little bit more of that sporty feel inside of that vehicle. So if it was me, I'd go for the Sport one. But if you're just looking for a pretty cool luxury sedan, definitely look for it. Again, I always have to mention Genesis, 10 years, 100,000 miles powertrain warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles the warranty on the entire vehicle. So definitely best in class. And you know, at $56,000, comparably equipped Mercedes or BMW would be thousands of dollars more. So keep that in mind. Happy shopping if you're shopping for a vehicle. If you like videos like this, great. I have a bunch of them on my channel. Check it out. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on that bell notification so you don't miss any of them. And I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.